Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. Today I'm going to do a reading for Virgo energy, and we're going to see how different people are handling their Virgo energy. People can be high vibe Virgo, aligned with love and hope and faith and belief. They can be aligned with their more worldly nature of Virgo and kind of caught up in the illusion of the world, and that's the most important thing. And then we can have quite shadowy Virgo people who are kind of manipulative and wear a false mask in the world. So, first we'll just start out with you high vibe Virgos. We have the Four of Cups and the Tower, and the reason it came out is because of the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups can be about, that we had a dream of moving forward with someone, and in the Four of Cups, it feels like you could feel like you missed an emotional opportunity and a foundation didn't work out, like coming together with someone in building a long-term foundation didn't work out. You could have been dealing with some people in life who either are emotionally confused, they could have their own illusions about what it means to be in a relationship or their own ideas of what it means to be in a relationship. Some people like to get in relationships, but it's just more to indulge in the relationship. And you were thinking it was going to maybe move forward in love, and you realize that they might be people who ignore love. They could, in the Three of Cups, be people who use their emotions manipulatively in relationships. It's more about creating an illusion that they're going to bring a dream into reality, but it's either because they're emotionally confused or they do have a lot of confusing emotions that they need to work through, or they're people who create illusion in relationships. And some of them never intended to think of making it long term. Sometimes it depends on what our intention was when we started the relationship. So you are taking that cup of love to let go of being an illusion about it. The truth sets us free. If some people seem to be emotionally confused, some people could be very unstable, some people could be manipulative, some people create illusion and they don't really plan to want to be in a long-term relationship. You are taking that cup of love to work through your emotional confusion and to let it go. Because if people aren't on the same page as you and have the same dream as you have and motivated and inspired by love, then you're not on the same page and you can't have a long-term foundation with them. So you are harnessing high vibe Cancer energy about love and home and family, and you want to be in deep emotional relationships. The other people could harness more shadowy Cancer and Scorpio energy, where they could be people who like to be in relationships, but they could use their emotions kind of manipulatively in a relationship, and they could be kind of unstable, and they're maybe not willing to let go of old ways of being or people in their life or ways of living their life or viewing relationships in order to move forward in an energy of love. So you are taking that cup of love to believe in your dreams. You're accepting what is, that everybody has their own ideas and in different places in their life. And you're letting it go and no longer being an illusion about them. Whoever those people could be, it can be friends, it can be siblings, just people who have illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. And they're just not moving forward in a loving, kind of just and fair and stable and grounded way. So next we have the Queen of Wands, the World, and the Hierophant. And the reason is because of the Five of Wands. Why do we come in contact with different people in our life? To get clear about what our truth is. Are we willing to give up our dreams because we might have love for people? Are we willing to stay in heartbreak? Are we willing to let go of this because we're still caught up in illusion about people? High vibe people are moving forward. They're not willing. The fact that they were emotionally confused by some people in the world who didn't choose love, they're not going to let those people take away their dreams. Instead, the high vibe people are letting go of the people who seem to be confused, who aren't operating from a place of love, and they're connecting in with their emotions and their intuition to look to the future even though in the Five of Wands they might have some inner conflict about it, in the World card, they're realizing that if other people have a lot of inner conflict about being in a relationship, being bold and brave and confident and loving and authentic and all those good things, well, we just got to see the truth. They're not ready to move forward in a solid, stable relationship. Or again, some people, the Hierophant can represent how some people view relationships, and if they view relationships as being very competitive, or people are supposed to fight for me, people are supposed to want to be in a relationship because I think I'm all this, these are two cards of Leo energy. People don't have to be Leos, but we all harness Leo energy either in a high vibe way or a more worldly or shadowy way. You wanted to move forward with people who are willing to work through their inner conflict, through their fears, their insecurity, their pride, their ego, their self-centeredness, their whatever, in order to walk the talk. High vibe Taurus is people who walk the talk. If they present themselves as being just and fair and loyal and committed and like an upstanding citizen in the world, they should act that way. But some people just want to present themselves that way and never learn lessons in life, because in order to move forward in life, in the World card, we have to be bold and brave. We have to work through our inner conflict. We have to learn lessons in life. We have to take some bold, brave, creative action to believe in ourselves and believe in our dreams. And sometimes that means learning lessons about our shadow nature, our more egoic nature, our self-centered nature, our fearful, insecure nature. That's when we shed old layers of ourselves. That's when we can move forward in a new way, because we've put in the work and effort. We were motivated and inspired to do it. And there's some people who aren't motivated and inspired to do that. They could, if they harness these energies in a shadowy way, they're kind of probably competitive in the world. Their idea and what they could be motivated by in the world is the world. I want to have the money and the status and the image, and I want people to look up and admire me. That could be what they value, and that's maybe the most important thing to them, and they operate more from pride and ego. And they weren't willing to put an end to that philosophy of life. And if that's not what drives and motivates you to stay in a relationship, even if you're sad, even if the people you're trying to work with in a relationship aren't operating from a foundation of love, they might want you to stay in the relationship with them anyway and just create the illusion that, isn't this great? We're moving forward. Look how victorious and successful we are. Look at all the things that we have. Look how successful we look. But yet they could be stubborn, prideful, egotistical, competitive. And if you keep staying in a relationship with them, it's emotionally confusing, and you feel like you're missing an opportunity in love because they're not making decisions in their life based on love. And why? Because they maybe had illusions and gotten relationships in the past and they didn't work out. And then they have always been afraid of moving forward in life because they could be afraid it'll happen again. So they could have decided, I know what, I'm going to put an end to being more emotionally bold and brave and confident in the world. I'm going to put an end to that. And I'm going to, work to have the image and the status and the money and the materialism and all those things so that other people will want to compete to be in a relationship with me because I have those things of the world. And then I can be in a relationship without really having to be emotionally vulnerable and authentic in it. People will fight to be in a relationship with me because of my looks or because of my money or. And then I get to emotionally kind of be in my ego and be emotionally defensive and hope that people want to stay in a relationship with me because of those things that I have, or because they don't love themselves, they don't believe in themselves, they have fear and insecurity. And you just realize being in a relationship with people who like that, who aren't building their life on love, It's more pride and ego and emotional manipulation, and that's how they live their life. And they want you to keep staying in a relationship because you're in your pride and ego and you have inner conflict about closing out a relationship with them. And they were hoping that you'd give up on your dreams and stay in a relationship with them where they're kind of unstable, ungrounded, aligning with their shadowy nature. Stay in a relationship with me. I know I'm fearful, I'm insecure. I know I'm prideful, I'm egotistical. I know I'm kind of emotionally manipulative, controlling. But if you don't love and believe in yourself to believe in your dreams, let's stay in this relationship. And some of you said, no, I have a dream. And by being in a relationship with you, it helped me get clear about what my truth is. And the truth is, I don't want to be in a relationship with people who seem to have a lot of inner conflict and they never take bold, brave, creative action to deal with that inner conflict, to do love. They maybe never take creative, inspired action to deal with their past pain and heartbreak, to close out that chapter of life, to let it go and have some hope and faith and belief and love. If you're not there yet, I wish you peace, but I'm moving on. And I'm going to put in the work and effort to love and believe in myself emotionally. And I'm going to get balanced within myself, to believe in myself and be in life-giving energy, like every day treating myself with love and kindness and compassion and encouragement and forgiveness, to keep looking to the future. I am not willing to settle for less than I deserve. I'm not willing to give up my dreams. If you've given up on your dreams because relationships in your past didn't work out, so now you're more about indulging in a relationship and being stubborn and prideful, I hope it works out for you. I am closing out a chapter with you, and I will not be in a relationship with you. I am looking to get in relationship with other people who've learned lessons in life. Other people who are bold and brave and confident to not let their past and their fears and their insecurities hold them back. People who've taken that bold, brave, creative action to learn and grow and mature themselves, to heal, to get balance within themselves, so they're not tipped out of balance in their shadow nature or overindulging people who are in kind of shadowy energy. I want to be with people who've put in the work and effort, who walk the talk, who are bold and brave and confident, who are willing to detach from old ways of being and maybe people in their life who emotionally confused them, who maybe didn't choose to be just or fair or loving or kind or whatever. And they say, you know what? I don't know why they're like that. I don't have to know why they're like that. I just know it's not someplace where I can grow, because if people aren't in the energy of love and they're not just and fair and balanced and loving and encouraging and supportive, I don't want to be with them. That's not how I live my life. And it's an injustice for me to stay in a relationship with people who are living their life like that. I want to be with the bold and the brave and the confident and the people who put in the work and effort. The World card is Aquarius Capricorn energy. People and high vibe Capricorn energy is about freeing yourself from what imprisons you, restricts you, confines you, limits you, imprisons you, by seeing life from a higher perspective, having hope and faith and belief in yourself, healing, so that you can come out the other side having grown and matured yourself and how you make decisions in your life because you learn lessons from these past life experiences. So tell us what else is going on with Virgo energy. Having victory to get the justice you deserve. You know, the divine wants you to get your divine inheritance, and we can't get our divine inheritance of getting the justice we deserve if we keep indulging people who don't choose to free themselves from the things that manipulate them. Their mind, their emotions, their fear, their ego, their addictions, their lust, their greed, their more, our shadow natures can be our more immature, indulgent nature. you're moving forward. Here you were in the Five of Wands and in the Queen of Wands, and the Queens can represent our emotional state. Emotionally, you took creative, inspired action about your own inner conflict to detach, close out an old chapter of your life, and focus on putting in the work and effort to bring your dreams into reality. And when we put in that work and effort, that's when we get out of our inner conflict. We rise above our worldly, egoic nature to get the justice we deserve. And the reason that came out is because you have a dream. From the 6 to the 2, you're letting go of one foundation. People that you could have, the Four Wands can be about coming together with people in joy and celebration. You're letting go of a foundation or a group or a workplace or a relationship because you saw the truth that either they have unresolved issues from their past, and it could keep them being unstable within themselves or fearful, insecure, emotionally defensive, or just people who have illusions about relationships, which is like, I don't take a cup of love to fill myself up emotionally. I'm unstable. I have illusions about relationships. Can't I be in my ego? Can't I be emotionally deceptive? Won't you put an end to your inner conflict and just be in a relationship with me? And kind of like you make me feel better without me doing the work within myself. But the whole thing is then when their issues bubble up again, then it's like they didn't ever take responsibility for dealing with their inner issues. You were supposed to make them feel better. You were supposed to help them feel balanced within themselves. But then, those issues bubble up again. And then it's like, oh, wait a minute, you're not doing your job. My issues are bubbling up again. I have inner conflict. You're not doing your job. I'm not feeling better. I'm not feeling good. You're not feeding like my ego or helping me feel stable or secure within myself. I need to end a relationship with you. I need to go find someone else to make me feel better. And then they decide to go have a victory with someone else, thinking their dreams will come into reality with that person. That person will make me feel balanced. That person will make me feel stable. That person will make me feel all better. That's being in our shadow energy, being codependent, looking to people outside of ourselves, looking to things outside of ourselves to make us feel better, to make us feel victorious, to make us feel like we're balanced. But it's being codependent because they're not doing the work within themselves. And when they start to feel unstable, ungrounded, have inner conflict again, well, then it's to go find someone else. Someone else must be the answer. Something else must be the answer. Is it the drugs? Is it the alcohol? Is it the gambling? Is it the sex? Is it the drugs? Is it the whatever? If I just had more money, I'd feel better. Some people keep moving forward in pride and ego. And they think it's just and fair to live their life that way, some of them. Some of them are very egotistical. Some of them are self-centered. They don't do love. Other people are supposed to want to be in a relationship with them. They're supposed to be the center of attention. They could be very victorious in the world. They could be attractive in the world or think they are. Whatever it is that some of them could think people are supposed to dream of being in a relationship with me, and they're really full of themselves. And so you're moving on. You're letting go of being in a foundation with those people because what you think is just and fair in your Libra energy is different than what they think is just and fair. You move forward, taking creative, inspired action, being bold and brave and warm and loving and authentic and being in life-giving energy, and they choose to be in shadowy energy of pride and ego, and they want to be in denial of the truth. We have a lot of fire energy here. And some people, the Seven of Cups is Scorpio energy. Some people like to keep their emotions buried beneath the surface because they've maybe been hurt before and they maybe have never done the work within their own foundation to offer love to their foundation, to heal from their past confusion. And so it's like, no, I don't have to offer love to my foundation. Can't I just keep my emotions buried beneath the surface? They're so confusing. Can't I just try to go get in a relationship and maybe try to emotionally manipulate people who seem very grounded and stable? I'm really competitive in the world, and I want to look like I'm moving forward in relationships too, that I'm, grounded and stable and mature and nurturing and all those things, but they really haven't done any of the inner work to do that. So they look to get in relationships with other people who seem like that. So then it kind of like casts them in that light also, so that they can look like they're moving victoriously too, that they're Libra energy is represented by the scales of justice, that they're balanced, that they're stable. But if they're not dealing with their emotions and they haven't worked through their own emotional confusion and learned to heal and love them, believe in themselves, it's just creating an illusion. Oh, a relationship ended. I'm emotionally confused. Maybe I was kind of prideful and egotistical or competitive or self centered. I don't want to see the truth. I want to put an end to my inner conflict. I know I'm going to get in a different relationship so that I can feel better. And then maybe confuse people about the truth of myself, because maybe I am stubborn and prideful and manipulative, and maybe I am emotionally shallow. Maybe I am intimidating and controlling. Shadowy Scorpio can be people who become like a private detective in a relationship because they know they're not being authentic and honest. They know they're creating an illusion, and they don't have to be a Scorpio. People are either willing to connect in with their emotions and willing to ride the highs and lows of life emotionally, or they don't want to. And they're not willing. It's like, I just want to keep it buried beneath the surface. I don't want to deal with it. Kind of like shadowy Virgo. I don't want to self-reflect. I'm not interested in gaining insight and wisdom about the past, why those people were that way, why a relationship didn't end up and work out. Sometimes for some people, a relationship didn't work out because they do these kind of emotionally confusing, emotionally manipulative, kind of prideful, stubborn, competitive ways of being in a relationship, and that's why relationships end. The people they were in relationship with, you get in a relationship with someone, you kind of create the impression we're going to put work and effort to bring a dream into reality, to have victory and success, to be just and fair and balanced, to bring a dream into reality. But some people really don't want a dream based on love and being bold and brave and authentic and warm to come into reality, because that means they'd really have to be those things. And some people just like to create the illusion they're those things. And then when they get in a relationship, they kind of can do things that are kind of manipulative and kind of prideful and egotistical. And they hope that the person they're in a relationship with will put an end to the dream relationship that they had in mind, and be willing to settle for staying in a relationship with someone that does cause them inner conflict, because that person is kind of emotionally manipulative, maybe kind of prideful and egotistical, maybe emotionally defensive, maybe emotionally shallow, maybe kind of ignores love, doesn't offer love to the foundation. It's kind of like you're supposed to offer love to the foundation, and maybe they have the illusion that they just put in work and effort to maintain a certain image in the world, and you're supposed to stay in it because of the illusion that it created in the world. Like, look how successful we are. And they hope that you'll kind of be in your ego about it. If they can get you to get in a relationship with them, that then you'll have inner conflict about moving away to get the justice you deserve. That you will put an end to the dream of the type of relationship you really dreamed of being in, because you did end up getting in a relationship with this person, and they hope you'll stay in the relationship with them or stay at that job or in that friendship group, kind of because you have inner conflict about leaving it. And as human beings, we can all have, we could all like to stay in the friendship group, the relationship, the job that we put work and effort into. We'd all like things to work. But eventually, if our intuition is telling us, I seem to be putting in work and effort to be creative and inspired and motivated to make it just and fair and balanced, they don't seem to be able to cross that bridge to start putting in work and effort within themselves to get out of their ego, to get out of their self-centeredness, to get out of their defensiveness or their fear or their insecurity, whatever it is. They don't ever seem to put in that work and effort. Because Taurus is their sign energy also about putting in work and effort and high vibe. And they never seem to kind of cross that bridge. I'm going to detach from my more egoic nature, whatever that means for them, and how their kind of shadowy nature applies in their life, to close out old ways of being in order to move to being someone who takes that creative action within their own philosophy about relationships, about their view of the world, in order to have victory, to be balanced within themselves. People either offset their fear and their insecurity and their self-centeredness or their emotional defensive nature with love and hope and faith, and they go within to gain insight and wisdom about why don't I do that? What are my fears and self-limiting beliefs? And the people who take that action to gain insight and wisdom in their Virgo energy learn lessons about themselves, and they're able to let go of some old ways of being to be more balanced within themselves, to have victory within themselves, so they can move forward and, really have their dreams come into reality based on justice and fairness and balance and truth and honesty and love. Some people don't like to be just and fair in a relationship. They could be prideful and egotistical and very stubborn. And some people have been hurt before and they're not willing to do it again. It has to be my way or the highway. If you want to be in a relationship with me, you have to indulge me in my fear, in my insecurity, in my egoic, self-centered nature. And if you want more in life, and you want a more just and fair and balanced relationship with people who are more bold and brave and confident than me, then you're going to have to find it within yourself to keep believing in yourself and detach from me to get the justice you deserve. And some of the people in your life who are like that are seeing you do just that. And it could cause them a lot of inner conflict. They've never done the work within themselves to rise above their fear, their insecurity, their self-centeredness, their ego, their more immature, indulgent nature. But you did. And they know that you're going to get the justice you deserve. When we quit investing our time, energy, effort into people who choose free willingly not to do that work and effort, and we start communicating and working with other people in the world and listening to our intuition to guide us to the people in the world who are just and fair and balanced, who do treat other people the way they like to be treated, not to be indulged in a relationship, they know that you're a loving, kind, just, fair, balanced person. You're going to find people who want to be in a relationship with you. And you and all the people in your life that have that same dream as you, who aren't prideful and egotistical and have inner conflict about putting in work and effort to get out of their self-centered, egoic nature, they're all moving forward with you. And this person could be in their ego, that you weren't willing to indulge them in a relationship and settle for less than you deserve. And maybe because it kind of really kicks up their egoic nature or their competitive nature, they might decide that since you've moved on and this relationship is over, they want to look like they're moving forward too victoriously. But they're moving forward more in pride and ego. And if their dream relationship and view of life is to align with the world. Emotionally, they could be inspired by the world. And shadowy Taurus is more about, again, like I said, the money, the image, the status, the materialism. And if that's not your goal in life and why you want to be in relationships and you've moved on, they want to go find other people in the world who are kind of on the same page as them, because that is their philosophy of life. That's what they're motivated and inspired by. And they want to go get the justice they want in their life. They have a dream of maybe looking very victorious and successful in the world. It's just that love isn't the driving factor of that. It could be, I want people to indulge me in a relationship. That's the definition of victory in my life. I want to have the money or the status or the image. That is victory in my life. I want other people to indulge me and love me where I don't really have to freely give of myself. That's a victory for me. Let's go see. What do the shadowy people not see coming in their life? Because I think life is all about learning lessons. And I think when we operate more out of pride and ego and emotional defensiveness, things aren't going to turn out the way we thought. And if we're self-centered and prideful and stubborn, we're probably not going to reap a wonderful, loving life. Because the loving people listen to their intuition to guide them, not their ego. And they learn lessons in life that I can love people and distance myself from them. If they're being emotionally manipulative, stubborn, prideful, not willing to detach and move forward and be bold and brave and confident in life, then I can love people and distance myself from them, because that isn't my dream way of living life. What they don't see coming, when we don't align with love and hope and faith and belief, we're aligning with our fear and insecurity or our ego. It's going to open up the door for other people to come into their life and play on their fear, their insecurity, their ego, their immature, indulgent, lustful, greedy nature. And what they don't see coming, which might not be present in the world right now, is that they're going to feel in a mental prison. If they already have fear of love and trusting people and believing in people, it's still going to be there. They're just going to work together with other people, still kind of being emotionally manipulative in relationships, and the fear and the insecurity and fear that their partner, oh my gosh, what if this partner loves and believes in themselves? What if they're not willing to stay in a relationship with me and think I'm all that, or stay in a relationship with me because of the image or the status or the money? What if they love and believe in themselves and they move away too? And then they always have this fear. Well, how about they get out of their fear and insecurity and move forward in the energy of love too? But if they rejected loving people, the people that might come into their life might be other people who present themselves as loving, but they also have a lot of fear about love, and they might move forward with people and might have people communicate with them because they do have those things of the world. They wanted people maybe to fight over them. Well, they might get it. And they might get someone who's like, hey, I see you're very attractive. I see that you have an image or status or money. Yeah, I want to be in a relationship with you. I'm very competitive in the world too. I like that you have those things, and I'm willing to use my emotions manipulatively because I too don't ever get out of my ego or my fear or my immature, indulgent, lustful, greedy nature. And I'll work together with you, and I'll present myself as loving, because the Three of Cups is Cancer energy. So again, someone else, they don't have to be a Cancer. They're just someone who, instead of operating from a foundation of love and home and family, they use their emotions manipulatively. They're prideful, egotistical, competitive in the world. They also want the image and the status and the money and the materialism. And they're happy this person is either full of themselves, prideful and egotistical. Can I play on your pride and your ego? Cool. I'll play it up. You want to get in a relationship? I'd like to say I'm in a relationship with you because I think you're good looking too. And really, that's the reason I want to be in a relationship with you. It's not because of love. Oh, do you have money, materialism? Yeah, I'm willing to work with you. I like those things. I'll get in a relationship with you for those things. Is that what you think is valuable about you? Me too. It's not you. It's not your thoughts. It's not your emotions. It's not how you feel. It's not how you think. I just want to emotionally manipulate you because I too am kind of prideful and egotistical in the world. I too want to look like my dreams have come into reality. I too want to look like I'm victorious. I think it's just and fair for me to live my life that way. And then you could have two people working together in a relationship where both people are fearful and insecure. Just a moment. Okay, I had a child come in the house, so I needed to speak with them for a minute. So, I think what they don't see coming, for one, the other thing they don't see coming is that you high vibe people love yourself and you're not going to be in a mental prison about them anymore. Before you could have been, because it's confusing if you're in a relationship and you think people are who they present themselves to be, and then you find out they're not. That's really emotionally confusing. And you've given a lot of thought to loving and believing in yourself. People act with truth and love and honesty and put in work and effort to grow and mature themselves and be bold and brave and just and fair and balanced, or they want to do life differently than that. And it's just seeing the truth of it. People have free will to choose love. Why don't they choose love? Because they align more with their egoic nature than their loving nature. Okay, I'm going to get another deck so all the cards can come out. What do high vibe, people in high vibe Virgo energy not see coming in their life? That why is whatever's coming for you going to happen? Because you are maintaining balance within yourself. You are walking the talk. You are being bold and brave and confident and loving and nurturing to yourself and being in life-giving energy. You are going to get the justice you deserve. The Hangman, as we keep moving forward, we keep having new insight and clarity. And I think what other people don't realize about you, some of these people in your past, is that you've seen the truth. Some of them never thought you would get out of your inner conflict and your pride and ego about the fact that someone kind of was manipulative and stubborn and prideful and egotistical, and they could have let a relationship end with you thinking you'd continually be in your pride and ego about them and feel stuck. And you're not. You've become enlightened to the truth. And as you keep moving forward in your life, you're going to continue to become more enlightened about the whole situation. You're going to expand your perception of your view of the world and relationships and life and yourself. And you also, well, maybe some other people might not be like in your life right now, but you will have other people in your life who are enlightened. Why? Because you're cutting out the people in your life who harness this energy in a shadowy way, which can be people who are stubborn and prideful just to prove a point. They're unenlightened to the truth that life's about love, and they operate out of pride and ego just to prove a point. Like, I'm the boss. You have to do things my way. You know, I think if I act prideful and egotistical and stubborn and, you know, maybe go have a victory with some other person and get in a third party situation, it's going to cause you all this inner turmoil and all this inner conflict. And basically you'll be in your ego just like me. And you're like, no, I'm not going to let team B, negative energy of the world, unloving, unkind people, get me to be in the same mental state and emotional state like they are. That's not how I choose to live my life. You can keep operating out of pride and ego. I choose to move forward being bold and brave and confident in love, but you keep doing what you want to do. It's free will. Everybody can do what they do. You're going to get the justice you deserve, and they're going to keep being emotionally manipulative and keep being manipulated by their fear, their insecurity, their ego. And therefore, they're probably going to have other people come into their life who play on their fear, their insecurity, and their ego for their own fearful, insecure, competitive, prideful reasons. So, there you go, Virgo. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.